Ken in there? W6HK, are you there?
And W6HK, back at my base station, I was running 20 watts into a ham stick dipole of 9.5 feet, but now I'm back on the regular 100 watts, or probably quite a bit less than that, with the IC7100 and with the G5RV. So, John, how's my signal compared to the 20 watts?
Well, I took the attenuation off. You're full quieting now. You're 20 over also. You and Stan Stan's actually over 20 over. You're only 20 over. So the conditions are good. It's just there's a lot of static crashes and noise in the background, but propagation's good. So I think if Ray is on frequency, or if he's coming on frequency, we should be able to hear him.
Yeah, I don't know if Ray might be out of this area. He's still having airplane problems. So he drove out here, and he might not be back in Prescott yet.
Check signals. I'm not sure.
There he is.
Back to you, Stan, RJ.
Yeah, I can hear you. You doubled on part of that. You doubled on part of it, but I could hear you, Ray, so that's great. So we got Ken, and we got John, and then we got you and me. So anyway, why don't I hand it off to Ken again, and we can start there.
Hey, this is W6HK. Hi, Ray. He seemed to be a little bit weak, maybe not as good as last Thursday, but let's see if it improves as the time goes on here. I was on 20 watts with my backyard dipole, the hamstick dipole of 9.5 feet before, and talked with John, but that was before Stan came on, so I might go back out there and give a comparison try. So, let's see, John, I'll turn over to you and then over to Stan. AA6RF for the group, W6HK.
Yeah, W6HK, AA6RF. Yeah, Ken, you're over 20 over now. Stan's plus 30. Ray, you're about an S9 and not as strong as the rest of the guys here, but you're coming in just fine. And Ken, Will's out here also. I heard him a minute or so ago. We were dubbing, but I think Will's in here too. But you guys are all coming in well. And I guess this time of the evening, boy, the signals came way up because everybody's got a strong signal, so that's great. So let's see. W8 or AA6DD. Not AA6RF. I'll turn it over to WA6NFE, and then maybe we'll get Will in.
Yeah, okay. You were about to call yourself, John. It's okay. Anyway, that's good. And by the way, I never realized how many palm trees I had in our neighborhood till you sent me those 2 pictures of palm trees. So I took a couple of pictures, and I'll send them back to you. But there's a couple of trees a couple of blocks away that are 100 feet tall, 2 palm trees. And, I was telling you about it. The guys climb up there, and they swing over to the other palm tree after they trim the first one. They got more guts than I have. But anyway, that sounds good. So Ken was like S9 plus, and then John, you're S9 plus 10. Actually, you're more than S9 plus 10. So I'm waiting to see how Ray was. I thought he had a pretty decent signal, but Anyway, that's it. So let's turn it over to Ray. N8RG, W86NFE.
W86NFE in the group, N8RG. Very good. Everybody, S9 or better, and Stan, you're 10 to 20 over. Again, getting a little bit better. I've got about an X6 noise level. Here, in fact, there's no static crashes tonight, so this is a good thing. So I'm running about 98 watts, and this antenna configuration seems to be working really well. I couldn't make the random wire tune, probably because it was too close to the rooftop and we had too much capacitance. But the half-wave infed works really well. And then I put a homemade trap on the end of the 10 to 40 section and added a 60-meter pigtail, and that works well. So the antenna is about 3 to 4 feet above the rooftop, and then it slopes down to about 5 feet above ground at the feed point. So pretty happy with the stealth antenna that I was able to do this much. Because tried a lot of configurations and nothing was very good. So I picked up probably about 2.5 S units for this antenna. Anyway, not much else going on here. I'm putting together a VHF repeater for the search and rescue group here for the to use in the aircraft. And I'm donating it. I bought a Motorola pair of CM300s on eBay that are dash mount radios that have a repeater interface, and I've got a little duplexer coming for it, and a gel cell, and it all fits in a Pelican case. So I bought the case today, and I'm making it all come together. So that's going to be kind of fun. Ought to be able to make some real improvements to these guys once we get this package together. Anyway, Ken, let me turn it over to you and see how I'm doing over there. I just got back from a quick overnight trip. Had a business meeting in Long Beach and did a couple things in the area, and came back yesterday, and I've got to go back for the museum meeting on the 31st. So tomorrow I'm going to go over and see if they've got what's happening with the plane. Anyway, so let me turn it back to you, Ken. Let's see how we're doing. W6HC in the group, N8RG.
Yeah, N8RG in the group, W6HK. Now I'll turn it over to AA6D after this transmission. And yeah, you're peaking S9, Ray, between S7 and S9. Yeah, most of the time at S9. So beautiful signal, very well. And yeah, I hope your airplane is going to be all set so you can fly over here next week for the museum meeting. But yeah, your antenna's really doing well, and maybe Will enjoyed the description of the way you put up that stealth antenna. So it's doing really well. I might go back out in my backyard after a couple of transmissions and fire up my 20-watt portable radio with the hamstick dipole that's up 9.5 feet. I talked to Stan a little bit earlier on that, and also N2VAJ a couple of hours ago, and that worked out pretty well. But I'll be surprised if you can hear that over in Prescott, Ray. So anyway, over to you, Will. AA6DD and the group, W6HK.
W6HK, AA6DD. Everybody's too fast here, though. We can definitely hear the lightning strikes. The monsoon season in August is already upon us. We can hear Mexico lightning strikes and strikes out of Mexico and everywhere out there. Quite a cacophony no sounds in the background, but everybody is 2.5 above it, which is nice. Yeah, I was just looking here at it's an interesting textbook on antennas that I've had forever. And I was looking at it has some very excellent diagrams in it showing the electric field as it propagates away from quarter wavelength verticals or half wavelength verticals. And those were finally figured out in the very late 30s. The first, and it was utilizing heavy side formulas for transmission lines. They expanded those out to figure the calculation for the magnetic fields coming up off of quarter wavelength and half wavelength antennas against ground. And there was actually a picture of that published in QST in 1939, I think. Right around that, might have been 1940, very beginning of World War II for us at least. I've seen it. What bothers me is that has not been brought forward. I mean, you could have been an amateur forever and ever and never seen that diagram. It's a very important diagram to give yourself a mind's eye view of what's happening with vertical antennas. Any comments, Ken? And then I'll let you turn it to whoever is really supposed to get it. Go ahead.
Okay. Main comment is I'm noticing some distortion on your signal, but it might be on this end. Sounds like you're hitting your mic a little bit too hard, but I'm kind of wondering about that. Maybe John can give you a better report since with the propagation changes, it might be a sort of a multipath kind of thing. So, and you're sounding good otherwise, Will, but I might fire up my low power rig in a couple of minutes. Back over to John. See if you know anything on Will's audio. AA6RF and the group W6HK.
Yeah, this is AA6RF, John in Arupa Valley. I think Will, you're overdriving a little bit on the mic. Ken, the other day we were on AM and he had no audio modulation, so I had him turn up the mic and it on AM it helped, but I think on sideband it's up too high. But your signal came up, Ken. You're almost a plus 30 in the plus 20 to plus 30 range. And Stan, the palm tree. I got a story. Well, it's not a story, but something that Ken did the other day when we were talking about palm trees. I wanted to send you the pictures, but I didn't have your email. You're not on QRZ, so I asked, I text Ken, did he have your email address? And he texts back and he says he has it right in his palm. And so I got your email address, and so I sent you the pictures. The guy's still witty. I mean, Ken's still got his sense of humor. I think he's always had it, but maybe he's enhancing it as he gets older. I don't know, because I haven't known him that long. But anyway, Stan, since the other day when we were talking about it, well, my wife, she got 4 more palm trees, and I went around the yard and counted all of them. We got about over 60, and now we got 64. So she got 2 more palm trees over the weekend, and she planted a few of them this weekend. So she's got more of a habit than I do. I've only got maybe a half a dozen antennas. She did me with the palm trees, so I just wanted to let you know that we got more palm trees now, and it's if I went around and took pictures of everything, it'd probably take up a gigabyte of information to get the stuff over to you. But yeah, if you're going to send me some pictures, I'd appreciate it there, Stan. And you got my email address now, so that's it. Oh, and Ray, you came up and you were an S9 and you peaked almost a plus 20, almost a plus 20 your signal. So that antenna is doing a good job. The propagation gods are hanging in there, and your signal came way up. So, and of course, Will, you're 30 over, and Stan was 30 over. So, I haven't. Wouldn't it be nice, Ken, if we could have a net in the morning where everybody has strong signals like this? It'd be fantastic. But well, maybe we will in another few years when the solar cycle changes and the conditions change. But I remember a long time ago, we always had good, strong signals coming in the morning, but those days seem like they're kind of over with. So let's see. I'll turn it back to you Ray. N6RG. Go ahead and take it away.
Okay, this is November 8th Romeo Golf. Yeah, RF is coming up to about 5 over, Stan's here 5 over, and signals are picking up a little bit. So this is a difficult path from Southern California. It seems to be a little long for good propagation a lot of the time, but we kind of got it optimized here, and conditions are pretty good these days. So we'll see what happens as we get a little darker here, a little more further down into the summer, and it starts getting darker early, and that makes a difference one way or another. So, yeah, Ken, I'm curious what that little radio is, how long you've had it, and tell me a little more about it. This sounds interesting, and I'd sure like to see if I can hear that. And talk a little more about the antenna on that, what you're doing with it. So, Ken, I'll turn it over to you, W6HK in the group, N8RG.
N8RG in the group, W6HK. Okay, Ray. And, back on the comment about the palm, I wonder if, John, if your wife planted any coconut palm, so when you walk out in the backyard and get conked on the head by a falling coconut, or at least make a nice coconut pie, which I love. So I wonder if you got any coconut type. And with the net in the morning, if we had this kind of propagation, it would be great. But thinking about running the net at night. The net is really intended for around the southern region of California. I really don't want to tie up the frequency with a net that with guys like Gary and Al and others in Minnesota and elsewhere, they might not like to hear a long net. In fact, Al and Gary, if you're listening right now, please join us. Always enjoy listening to you guys. And on that radio, I've had that a few years now, Ray. Bought it from Connect Systems, and it's actually made by Xiegu over in China. And it runs 20 watts on sideband, and the antenna is a pair of ham sticks. The MFJ is no longer around, so I bought it from them, and the pair of ham sticks in a dipole configuration, horizontal, and it's on a tripod going up 9.5 feet. So seems to work pretty good, and I might go back out in the backyard and fire that up and see if you hear me. So anyway, over to you, Stan. WA6NFE is the group, W6HK.
Yeah, WA6NFE. I think Ray was he was S9 on an earlier transmission, but on the last one he was about S8, slightly under S8. So anyway, John, you're probably right that Ken has not lost his sense of humor, saying that he had my email in the palm of his hand. But he also has a humor about igloos and polar bears for Nevada, so it fits out pretty well. By the way, on Sunday night, the Alaska Airlines had an outage on their telecommunication systems, and they grounded the aircraft. This is late Sunday night, and they grounded delayed their flights, and then some flights actually had to make emergency landing. And my youngest grandson was on one of those flights. He was coming from New York to Seattle, and I was actually watching him on the computer on FlightRadar24.com. You could see airplanes, on the. Some of you are familiar with that. I know Ray is. And so he was about 400 or 500 miles from Seattle, and I'm watching the plane, and all of a sudden, it takes a big wide loop right turn. It goes around right turn. It'll go starboard, and it comes around, and then it starts heading south. And I go, what in the heck is going on there? And it came south about 30 minutes. I was trying to text him, and all of a sudden it went off the screen. And I thought, oh my gosh, what's going on? Anyway, I zoomed in, and I could see where it went off the screen. It said BOI, which is the Boise Airport. And then my grandson, he texted me and said, hey, we just made an emergency landing in Boise. I've never been to Boise. This is really cool. I go, and so I said, what the heck? So anyway, he spent the night in the airport and took a flight out the next morning at 7 o'clock into San Diego, and it all worked out. But anyway, he had quite an experience. So that's what happened Sunday night. So I think that's the second time that Alaska Airlines has had an outage like that. So let me see who I can turn it over to now. I'm not sure if I should turn it over to John, and then maybe he can turn it over to Will. But why don't you go ahead and take it, John? AA6RF, this is WA6NFE.
Yeah, thanks, Stan. This is AA6RF. I want to bring it to your attention, to everybody. Right now, you're being recorded on YouTube. If you want to play back this conversation of everybody, and you can see the signal levels and everything, there's a YouTube channel that a gal here, Kim, puts on, or call sign, or the name of the channel is K6YYL Ham Radio Lady. You type that in, and it'll bring it up, and it's got a live feed right now, but you can play it back later. But she's recording, so she's got it on Memorex on her YouTube channel, so everybody can have a proof that we made a 6-0 meter contact this evening. So I just wanted to throw that out there. She texted me to let me know. Yeah, there was a question that you mentioned. Somebody asked me a question about the palm trees, and no coconut palms there, Ken. There's the scientific name for some of these palm trees. Don't ask me to pronounce them because I have no idea what they are, but we probably got maybe 10 or 12 different species of palm trees, and of course some of them we've got dozens of the same species. So that's it for the palm tree. Yeah, the signals are holding up just real well, and let's see. I'll turn it back to you, Will, and let's. Ken, why don't you go out in the backyard, get on your other radio, and then I'll let Will talk, and after a half hour or so when Will gets done, you'll be set up and ready to go on your other radio. So, AA6 RF, go ahead, AA6DD.
Okay, John, let me take a look here. Hello. I turned the microphone down. It doesn't look like I've got any real problem on the ALC. Let me turn it up. Yeah, I guess I was just a little too high. Just a little too high before. Okay, that's good right there. All right, that should be just my gruff voice is kind of gruff right now, but should not be any pinging distortion of any sort. Well, propagation is good. 60 meters can surprise us in the summer months because the good old flare can charge up and stay charged all the way to midnight and make the band do the NVIS for us all evening long, which is wonderful. Anyway, Ken, I don't know. I'm not going to talk that long. Like I say, I've just been over here reviewing some of the original mathematics and some of the original formulas for all this stuff, and refreshing my mind and getting an idea, a refresher idea about how some of this stuff works. And it's always fascinating, always learning new things, of course. Anyway, Ken, let me try to tell you, I doubt if you're going to run outside. Hopefully you don't. And I'm going to pull out of here and get back to my study. W6HK, AA6DD.
AA6DD is W6HK. Running 21 to Camp 6 Alpha of 9.5 feet.
Q5, even with the static. Q5, but even with the static. S5 static, and your signal is S5. Go ahead, Ted.
But anyway, thanks for the report, and let's see who's turn is it now. I think it's Sam.
Yeah, you're measuring about a S6 here, Ken. You're doing it about an S6, and there's some background static noises, as we all know. But anyway, you're getting through. So why don't I give it back to you, just so you can acknowledge, and then maybe you can give it over to Ray. W6HK, WA6NFE.
Okay, Sam. Tiny radio. Will, you were almost 20 over, very close to it. The real magic happens all over the coast of Arizona. There's this little radio and a little antenna. Hey, you don't understand the root of your system.
All right, let me turn it to Paul. Let me turn it to John. John, I have a question from Paul, North American 6 Radio. On your 78760, he wants your analysis of how the noise reduction and noise maker system works. The next time I talk to him, I'll relay that message on to him. AA6RF, AA6DD.
Yeah, Will, who did you want the message to be relayed to? I didn't understand. You were asking me about the noise blanker. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow about the noise blanker. And Ken, real quick, I don't think Ray heard but my signal report, just take a look, but Ray, if you copy ends November 8th, Romeo Juliet, Romeo Golf, Ken turned it back to you. He was operating 20 watts in his backyard, and I guess you weren't able to copy.
November 8th, Romeo Golf. Actually, I'm hearing Ken at about an S6, but the noise level is S6. So I could tell it was Ken, and it was pretty steady signal, and I'm pretty impressed I heard it at all. And but definitely an S6, so if we had a better noise situation, I'd probably understand it. So that's not bad. Anyway, I'm going to sign out here. Got a couple things I need to do, and wanted to hang on long enough to see if I could hear Ken, and I started Ken. So I'll turn it back to Stan, and everybody's doing pretty well on tempo strength, so all above S9. Stan's 10 to 20 over. So good evening, 73, and we'll see how... next week I'm going to be in Orange County, so I won't be on the net, but a couple weeks I'll be on it. So WA6NFE in the group, and 8RG.
Yeah, okay, Ray. Yeah, we can hear you, so that's great. Your antenna's working really great, so great improvement. Yeah, and I thought I'm sure you appreciated the story I telling about my grandson doing an emergency landing in Boise. And that is a great program that you can watch somebody's flight. If you know the flight number, of course, you can watch the plane in real time going across country, and you can see where they are. It's just great. Anyway, have a good one, Ray, and great that you could get on and everything, and that we can hear you. So it's working out pretty good. Anyway, it's been a nice day here. I'm trying to figure out what I've been doing all day. I was cleaning off the patio. That's what I was doing. I was gonna fix something. I guess I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow. I'm working on part of my garage, and eventually gonna rewire something. I'm putting on a new motion light on the outside. But anyway, let me see. Who should I turn it to next? Maybe. Let me turn it back. I don't know, Ken, if you're back on your regular radio or not. But why don't I turn it back to you, and then you can pass it on. If you can hear me, okay. W6HK. This is WA6NFE. Still on the 20-watt radio with the exactly it is 20 over. Really, so this thing's 20 over with lights on the head in analog music. So it is 30 over. And very strong. We'll just pull out some distortion. So the audio down a little bit more. You did it through when I was on the base system at that time. And you did it through when you pressed it down, but you need to even a little bit more. So, pushing through the UA, I think you said you were finding out. And you're thinking that sounds worse on my radio.
Yeah, Ken, I think Will signed off a while ago. He gave up after the last go-around. Ken, that antenna, when you get the horizontal dipole closer to the ground, you get a better signal and noise ratio. You probably don't hear that much noise, static crashes. I can hear them, Will can hear them, and Stan can hear them, but that outside antenna, you probably don't hear the static crashes as much as when you were in the house. Is that correct, or am I blowing smoke?
That is correct. Although the static crashes are really not too bad in this area this evening when I was on the space station, that was picking up. And they are considerably less
Yeah, well, I didn't think the band was going to be any good at all because before it started, my noise level was up around S9, and so what I ended up doing, what made it really nice is my AGC, I put it on slow, and it kind of gets rid of all the static crashes because everybody's signal was up well above S9. So it kind of lowered the gain and kept the static and stuff out of the background. So that was my way of, without using a noise blanket or anything, I just put the AGC to slow, and it kind of smoothed everything out where I didn't hear the static. And when between the syllables, it doesn't go down where you can hear that stuff. So that's a trick you can do to get rid of the noise. Is just put your AGC on slow and go for the and listen to the stronger signals. Let's see. Well, Ken, the 20 watts, that antenna. How many feet above the ground do you have that antenna?
It's 9.5 feet. 9.5 feet. And with the epithets, the total width of the antenna is about 14 feet. So it's a pretty nice antenna, very easy to put the setup. John, go ahead.
Yeah, well, for emergency, I mean, 20 watts, you're doing a good job. I mean, if you pumped it up to 100, you'd probably, well, you wouldn't be as good as your other antenna, but for an emergency purpose, you'd be just fine. But then 100 watts, you're going to be using your battery quite quickly. But for an emergency, who cares as long as you got 5 minutes of transmission? So let's see. I'll turn it back to Stan. So WA6NFE, AA6RF.
Yeah, I can hear you. Ken is he's weak, but well, and part of it is the noise, the static crashes, but otherwise I can hear him okay. Yeah, so and like you, so I think Ray is gone. So 70. Have a good evening, Ray. I don't think he's still listening. And then you said Will is might have checked out, and so there's just the three of us. So let me see if Will is still there, and if he's not, then maybe we can turn it back over to Ken and see if we can still hear him okay. Still there, Will? AA6DD?
Yeah, I'm still listening in the background, and very good on all your comments there, Ken. But I'll put it to Ken and let him go forth and get back out of here again. W6HK, AA6DD.
The low power low antenna. So I guess they're hanging out 73, and sounds like you might have done it. Yeah, so good. I think I better sign out with the portable and go back in the house and fire up. Both of them, Jay might be joining us. I ran a test with him with his radio and antenna. The test he's about 2.5 miles from the exit, and he had a tremendous signal here. You guys are all sounding good. Stan, you're 30 over, and John, you're 20 over, and Will, you're still slightly distorted, but not bad. So you improved. So 73 from the portable and back on the screen.
November 2, Victor Alpha Julia, 10-2VAJ. I'm in here, Ken.
I wonder if you guys are hearing Tony. Go ahead.
About 6-7 feet off the ground from the base, and with a ground wire counterpoint. I don't think that'd be too strong, but that's just up for local stuff.
Good signal. Did you copy Tony or John? I wonder if you copy Tony.
Ken, I repeat. You called somebody. I didn't hear.
On Saturday morning. Very, very good friend of mine. We're having sushi together. So did you hear Tony's dad, Sam?
Yeah, this is WA6NFE. Yeah, I heard Tony in there. So he came in about 2 or 3 minutes ago, but I could hear him okay. So I didn't know. Did you say, John? Did you say that you could not hear Tony, or you could hear Tony? AA6RF. This is WA6NFE.
Yeah, Stan. I was able to hear Tony just fine. He was over S9, but he turned it back to Ken, and then I couldn't hear Ken. Well, no, I could hear Ken, but I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the YouTube channel to see what signal strength I was coming in. I'm going to do something here. I just... There we go. Okay, it said 20 watts, but it didn't put out 20 watts, so I don't know what was happening, but I'll lower it. Okay, there's 10 watts peak right there, 10 watts, so hopefully you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear the 10 watts. You went down in the dumps there for a minute, but now you're on 10 watts because you sound like you might have more than that.
Well, this is 100 watts, and this is 10 watts. This is 10 watts, so this is 10 watts, and this is 100 watts.
Okay, I think the first one was at S3, and the second one was about S7. I looked at it real quick. I don't know how accurate that was.
Yeah, well, I was looking at my knob for the power output, and I should have been looking at the meter of the power output. So when I lowered it, I was putting out like 1 watt of power. So I turned it up so I could see where it was 10 watts, and then I cranked it back up to 100 watts. So you got to look at the power reading, not what the knob says.
All right, I think you were a little over S8 on that last one.
Okay, well, this is 100 watts, so at S8, the conditions aren't very good.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, that's good. You still there, Tony? N2 VH8 WA6 NFE. Okay, you're way down on that transmission, so I don't know if you lowered the power or what was going on. Are you still there, Ken? W6HK WA6NFE.
Yeah, thanks you guys for the signal report. Let's see. I don't know. I haven't really used low power on this radio. I used to use low power all the time on my 7700, but it works. It just I couldn't even see the needle move when I lowered the power all the way down. So I was just saying it was 1 watt anyway, enough of that. Everybody can hear everybody. That's good, and your 20-watt Ken is doing a good job. And if the noise level was lower, I mean, there's a lot of nights where the noise level is like S3 or S4. If it was like that, you could probably lower it down to 1 watt, Ken, and you'd be full quieting. Let's see, I'm going to get out of here, Ken. I'll let you guys continue. So I'll turn it back to Ray. Ray's still there, so I'm going to say 73 is you, Ray, and 73 is you, Stan. So November 8, Romeo Golf, and WA6NFE. Have a good one, 73s, and you too, Ken, W6HK. I'll be talking to you on Saturday. So this is AA6RF signing off in 73s.
Break.
Yeah, go ahead, Kim.
Thanks. I just wanted to say hello to everybody. This is K6YYL. I think I'm just running maybe 80 watts right now or less, so I'm wondering how everybody's copying me this evening on 60 meters here.
Yeah, Ken, you're 20, or Kim, you're 20 over to me. Good strong signal. Go ahead, everybody around the round table.
Good evening, Kim, and you are S9 on my little portable radio. So you're doing great. Did you hear
I think I've been hearing most everybody.
Hello, Ken. Tony, so you're sounding good. Got a small
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, I heard you mostly and then you faded out, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, you kind of faded a little bit, so I'll just stay on by here for a minute. K6YYL.
I don't hear anybody right now. This is WA6NFE, so I'm going to say 73, and good QSO and everything, so thanks everybody. I'll let you guys continue on. This is WA6NFE, Stan, and 73. Have a good evening, everybody.
YYL, W6HK, back on the base station.
Much better. Yeah, just about a S9 almost here into Claremont. Just much better.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're S9 here. And I know this level is 7 here without the preamp on, so it's fairly high, much higher than in the morning. But you're S9, nice signal, Kim. And Tony, I think you were in there too. N2BAJ in the group W6HK. Tony, are you there? I heard Tony. Maybe it was Stan I heard doubling. Stan, are you still there? WA6NFE in the group, W6HK.
Yeah, still here, Ken. Yeah, just listening. So I can hear you okay. And I'm not sure who else is on, but anyway, That's about it. You're not, it sounds like you're not on 20 watts anymore, I believe. Are you on the higher power?
Yeah, I'm back on the IC7100 and the G5RV up about 32, so burning quite a bit more than I was with a portable radio.
Yeah, okay. That's good. Yeah, I'm going to try to look on YouTube and see what's on here. If the QSO was on there, that would be great just to listen to it.
Yeah, I might take a listen also. So, okay, 73, I think. I'm going to sign out too. And Tony, are you still there? Hope we'll have sushi tomorrow. And 2VAJ in the group, W6HK.
Yeah, this is on YouTube. I will definitely, you'll definitely be able to hear yourself on YouTube. And my YouTube channel is K6YYL Ham Radio Lady.
Okay, Jim, I'll take a listen on YouTube. Thanks for doing that. And it should be quite interesting. You were 10 over S9 that time. Nice big signal. So, 73, and by the way, I heard you calling CQ the other night on 6 meters on 50.125. You had a nice signal. So, 73 all the way around. And K6YYL, W6NFE, N2VAJ, W6HK. Adios.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 73 from Kilo 6 Yankee Lima.
Okay, sushi tomorrow? Okay, my mouth is drooling already. Okay, 73 everybody, W6HK.
same height as my loop. Part of it is not completely horizontal, like 3/4 of it is horizontal, and the last quarter is vertical, because I don't have enough space to make the whole thing horizontal. But when I transmit between it, most people, an average signal report on 10 dB stronger on my loop compared to that end-fed half wave. Isn't that amazing? Because you look at all of the people out there, all of the amateur radio operators who are running these 49-to-1 end-feds. I can't believe how ineffective, at least in my situation, it doesn't work anywhere near as good as my loop. Over.
Yeah, well, it could be a variety of things. I mean, one, the on may not be as efficient. There may be some loss there. The direction, well, if it's low to the ground, the dipole is omnidirectional. I mean, I found that out when I had two dipoles 90 degrees from one another, and I put two different whisper beacons on. And you would think there'd be a lot of directivity on the antenna, but when you got it lower than 30 feet, the antenna is mostly omnidirectional, and the lower and lower you get it to the ground, it's really omnidirectional. So it doesn't make any difference when you're talking about NVIS or 200 or 300 mile contacts. If you got a low dipole, it's going to be omnidirectional, and once you get it above a quarter wavelength, then you got directivity broadside. But when you get it low to the ground, it's not directional. It's omnidirectional.
Yeah, copy. One of these days I'll hook up my end-fed to whisper, and I'll let you know. and it'll be really apparent that I'm on a different antenna. My point is, right, it's the same height, same feed point, almost same everything as a loop, except for it's not a loop, it's an end-fed. So 62 feet of wire versus 138 feet of wire, I guess. The loop's 138, so there's way more wire up in the air. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. The Anon is pretty efficient. It's one of the ones that Bill made. So WA6SMB. So anyway, he's the one who made it, and it works fine for Bob and some other people who use it. But for my situation or my topology or whatever, or the way I've got it working, it's not a good transmit antenna. It's a perfect diversity antenna. It's so perfect, John, I'm afraid to touch it. Like, I don't want to touch that because I'm afraid if I touch it, all of a sudden something's going to happen, and all of a sudden I'm going to lose my diversity functionality there.
Well, if your tuner is or your phasing setup is stable, well, you should be able to dial it. I mean, I'm sure it's very, very sensitive. When you get it tuned exactly in phase, you probably got 30 or 40 dB of attenuation on that signal. And if you don't, then there's something that's not right. But well, no, I mean, you could have bounce. If you just have a direct signal coming from one direction, you should be able to get 20 or 30 dB at least of attenuation. If there's signal bounce and it's coming at 2 or 3 different directions, then it's not going to be. You're not going to get that big dip because you can't tune it for 3 different places. But I was going to tell you, we were talking about it a minute ago. You know how you said your antenna, it's really not good for DX. Well, when you're going, I mean, it's not a good DX antenna, your loop. But that being said, going into Antarctica, we're not getting into Antarctica at a 4 or 5 degree launch angle. We're at higher angle. It's like 4 or 5 hops, or we're getting into 1 hop, and it's ducting over the distance, and then it's coming down. Because there's been nights where every so often I'll have a minus 20, minus 15, minus 12, and then all of a sudden, for a couple of hits, I'll get a plus 15. And you think, how in the hell could I get a plus 15? I mean, all that direction with that low of power, and it's because it's going up at a high angle. At the beginning, it's getting in a duct between the E layer and the F layer, and it travels and it doesn't hit the ground, and then it comes back down on the far end. And there's occasions, well, you'll see it if you run it every so often of the year. You'll get some signals that are just ridiculously strong, and nobody else has got a strong signal except you or me. I mean, but it'll happen with you, and it sounds like it's physically impossible that could happen, but it happens. And I've made those kind of contacts into South Africa on this NVIS antenna on 40 meter. And you think, well, how in the hell can I make a contact? I can't even get to the the East Coast very often. But when you go up at a high angle and you get between the E and F layer, you can go long distance. And then on the far end, it breaks out of the E layer and comes back down, and you get. I've got 15 over signals into South Africa. And other nights, most nights, people who are working with the DX antennas are getting S5, S7, and I'm getting an S2, and that's it. But when the conditions are just right, plus 15. I mean, how in the hell can you get a plus 15 signal when the majority of the time it's an NVIS antenna?
Interesting. Yeah, I never thought about ducting on the span that far. It's pretty amazing, man. That's something you see more on like the higher level, higher frequencies, like 6 meters and 2 meters and 440. But I guess it makes sense if you got the right conditions right, you can do it on each F2. So interesting analysis there, John. But anyway. So it's fun, man. I'm having a lot of fun on Whisper, and I continue to do so. Sometimes if I skip a night or whatever, it likely means either I didn't get around to turning it on or I made a mistake. But I'll try and be more careful and make sure that I switch the right antennas or remember to turn it on when I'm done operating here. And sometimes I'll let it run all day these days as well, since I'm so busy at work. I didn't even get a chance to turn my radio on until later at night. So anyway, I think you're going here, John, but hey, man, it's great to run across you on 60. Sounding great out there, man. The band's in great shape. You're not 20 over 9, but still a solid S9, 5 over 9, which is not too shabby for this time of night on 60 meters.
Well, you're 20 over on my receiver. I don't have there's no attenuation, no preamp. It's just the raw signal coming in. But whatever the meter says is, who knows what the meter actually is. But yeah, it works. I like this band when the band is good, and I don't normally get on 60 when I have an S8, S9 noise level, but when there's strong signals like this, you're full quieting, and it sounds like you're on FM.
Yeah, copy. Yeah, you came up to 20 over 9 on that one too, so the band's in flux. All right, man. We'll catch you later, John. Great QSO. Have a good evening, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. AA6RF out there in Riverside. Have a good evening from N6MUD San Diego. 73.
Yeah, I got that text you just, the text you just sent, so I'll look at it. I'll blow it up. All right, have a good one. N6MUD AA6RF.
All right, 73, N6MUD.